Pay attention and listen, because the war with Iran has officially spiraled out of control. And now the United States has officially posted a worldwide caution security alert for all Americans in the entire world. Not just in the Middle East, but the Americans in the United States. And the last time something like this was posted was during COVID, a global lockdown event for everyone in the entire world. So if you're not panicking, you should be panicking now, because we are less than 24 hours away from the United States' fate.
Americans, use caution worldwide, especially in the Middle East. State Department issued a warning to all Americans worldwide, again, worldwide, to use caution. And to me, folks, if this warning's coming out, they know something. It's not like they just grabbed it from the air, okay? They didn't just grab it from the air. They know something. So, folks, this is what I'm going to tell you. I tell everybody this. Since the day I became a cop, trust this. Trust your gut instinct. Do you know they did a study on gut instincts? 9 out of 10 times it's right. 9 times out of 10 times it's right. So if you walk into a room, something doesn't seem right, that person doesn't seem right, that car parked over there just doesn't seem right, you get that gut feeling, that gut feeling's 90% right. Them odds are great. I live in Vegas. If I had 90% odds, I'd be rich. I'd be gambling every single night. Folks, trust your instincts, keep your head on a swivel, and be protective of everything and your surroundings.
The United States of America just issued a worldwide security alert for American travelers. The United States of America just told its own citizens, we cannot protect you abroad. We have tapped into the cameras, the stereo systems, the iPhones, and the home technology of people that are conspiring to attack American people in direct correlation with Iranian supportive groups. Please hit an underlining message in this worldwide traveler security alert. America has never issued one of these. I've been on Earth 30-something years, and this is the first time I've heard my country say, hey, before you jump on that bus, train, or plane, realize we have an international opposition seeking to hurt and harm any and everybody they can. This is not the time to play or create unnecessary propaganda, because all of our lives are at stake. I'm begging y'all, please value yourself, pay attention to your surroundings, and remember, we are at war and we are under attack according to the United States government.
Hello brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing great from wherever you're watching this video from. And as you know, I'm your host and presenter Agent Stories. Just recently, the date 22nd, I think it's just 2 days ago. Yeah, the United States issued a caution, like it termed it as a worldwide caution. And the worldwide caution was a security alert to Americans that they should be extra cautious to something that might happen. And I think this is based on the fact that Trump knows that the war is inevitable and anything can happen. But honestly, what I like to say is that I don't really think Iran has a big problem with the United States. The Iran problem is Israel. But the issue is that the U.S. keeps on involving itself, which is putting American citizens at risk. Now, this is what is happening. There are two sides of the story, right? And there's two sides of the story is that we have the first group of people that are saying that the United States will create violence for itself and blame Iran for it. That's one thing. The second thing, or what the second group of people are saying is that Iran indeed can and will, in fact, do something to the United States to make them stop doing what they're doing. So here we have two sides of the story. So brothers and sisters, I'm welcoming you to join this podcast so that we can discuss all these contemporary things that are happening in the United States. Remember, I'm just a person who represents the voices of Black people in the United States, giving my perspective in regards to how I feel about these issues. I'm not an expert or anything, but I'm just an enthusiast. But hey, what do you think about this? Because honestly, me trying to look at the current trends, the United States has a tendency of creating chaos in itself, creating chaos in its own countries, and also creating chaos in other countries. Like what right now they're trying to do in Iran, what they ever did to other countries, other places, you know them. And you know the history of the United States with its own imperial overreach. And now it's a point when the United States is looking forward to cause an instability. But of course, the United States has caused instability in its own country, because the fact that you are denying your own citizens basic things like health, like food, like housing, and all these things, you understand that they are important to the people of the United States. You began by yourself causing an instability to your country. So this is what happens. The people are so disillusioned. And so on top of this, the security alert that was shared, some people are saying that this might be
So the State Department has issued a worldwide caution because of the war that is going on. This is what they posted on their official website. It says, worldwide caution, security alert. The Department of State advises Americans worldwide to exercise increased caution. Location, worldwide. Event, the Department of State advises Americans worldwide, and especially in the Middle East, to exercise increased caution. Americans abroad should follow the guidance and security alerts issued by the nearest U.S. embassy or consulate. Periodic airspace closures may cause travel disruptions. U.S. diplomatic facilities, including outside the Middle East, have been targeted. Groups supportive of Iran may target other U.S. interests overseas or locations associated with the United States and or Americans throughout the world. Enroll at step.state.gov to receive the latest security alerts and follow the U.S. Department of State security updates for U.S. citizens channel on WhatsApp or TravelGov on Twitter. When planning travel, carefully read the travel advisory and detailed information for your destination and any decent alerts at travel.state.gov/destination. Y'all stay safe out there, for real, for real.
If you're an American traveling right now, you need to hear this. The U.S. State Department has just issued a worldwide security alert warning Americans to use extreme caution abroad, and this is not routine. They're specifically warning that groups supportive of Iran could target Americans, U.S. interests, and even locations associated with the U.S. anywhere in the world, not just the Middle East. Anywhere. And this comes after a string of incidents already happened. A shooting in Texas being investigated for possible ties to the conflict, protesters storming a U.S. consulate in Pakistan, an explosive device outside the U.S. embassy in Norway, and even gunfire hitting a U.S. consulate in Canada. So this isn't hypothetical anymore. This is already happening. The State Department is also warning that travel could get disrupted, with airspace closures and sudden restrictions depending on how this war escalates. And here's the reality. They're not pointing to one specific threat, which honestly makes this more concerning because it means the risk is unpredictable. So if you're traveling or planning to, you need to stay alert, check embassy updates, and understand this conflict is no longer contained to one region.
Russia is the eyes, China is the weapons supplier, and Iran is throwing the punches, bitch. Cause sis on my FYP said we might be getting jumped between Iran, Russia, China, Spain, and Ukraine. And bitch, she's not wrong. But here's what we're not talking about. We actually picked this fight and didn't expect the crew to jump in. We literally walked up to somebody, poked them in the back, right? They turn around and we're shocked and surprised that the whole crew done pulled up. So let me break down what's actually happening, because Russia is not on the sidelines minding their business. Russia has been feeding Iran the exact locations of American warships, of American aircraft and military bases across the Middle East. Like exact locations, like they done pulled up Google Maps, pointed to it and said, there they go right there. And American troops have been hit at those very locations. So don't let no news, no headline try to tell you that Russia is minding their business, because they are not minding their motherfucking business. They are the ones that are in Iran's ear whispering. There they go right there. Look, there they at. And do y'all know what our defense secretary Pete Hegseth had the nerve to say when somebody asked him about Russia and about China being involved? He said, they're not really a factor. He said that out loud into a microphone on live television, while Russia was actively helping Iran target American soldiers in real time. Now China done sent supersonic missiles specifically designed to blow through naval defense systems, like the ones protecting American carriers sitting in the Gulf right now. And China done cut off exports for rare earth minerals that we need to build more missiles and fighter jets. So China's arming our armies and cutting off their supply at the same damn time. And doing it with a smile on their face, talking about they want some peace. Huh? I don't know about you, but that's definitely not a non-factor. And here's the part that really gets me. The diplomatic nuclear conversations that were being had fell apart in February. And instead of picking up the motherfucking phone and having a diplomatic conversation to find a solution, these dumbasses dropped bombs. Why? Because all the actual experienced diplomats were fired. Yes, the generals, the diplomats, the people who had actually spent 30-something years understanding this exact region, the language, the conversation. Every last one of them was fired, and instead of being replaced with people with qualifications, they were replaced with people that had Trump loyalty. So now we got a defense secretary going on national television telling the American people that the two largest military powers on the planet who are actively helping Iran are a non-factor. And we supposed to be okay with that? We supposed to believe that? This is the most incompetent, dangerous type of leadership. And baby, I need y'all to understand that sometimes wars are not won by missile strikes, but they're won because of bad decisions from bad leadership. So yeah, Miss Ma'am on my FYP is not wrong. We are indeed getting jumped. Russia is the eyes. China is supplying the weapons, and baby, Iran is throwing the punches. And we walked into this whole thing with a gutted team, almost out of precision weaponry. Done already burned bridges with most of our allies, so now we asking Ukraine for help. And we're being run by a man who does not think for a second that these people also have backup. So it's really not that we're getting jumped. We just picked a fight with somebody we didn't realize was way more prepared than we are. And baby, at this point, it is what it is, because Iran said it's up and stuck. And I'm going to just say it, the U.S. and Is Not Real deserve this ass whooping. It is a very much deserved ass whooping. It's been a long time coming, bitch. So I'm going to sit back with a blunt. Blunt.
I don't have much to say that won't put me on some list. And I don't have many words for Americans because we're fucking cowards. What I will say is that if you are someone who lives outside of the United States of America and you have any American company in your country, Walmart, Nike, Starbucks, McDonald's, KFC, whatever the fuck it is, do not go there. Do not spend your money there, which is probably better for you anyway, because if there's an American company somewhere in your country, it probably means that your politicians were bought as well. If it is American, cancel it. If you had any trips booked to the United States for whatever the reason, cancel it. Get your money back. Bring the economy of this country to its knees, because its own people won't do it. Its own people can't give up fucking coffee or shopping haul or some random release of a keychain simply to save their own lives. So I implore you, if you live outside of the United States of America, if you're not even American, do not patronize anything that is American in your country. Nothing.
That thing about the American woman who came to a pub in Cushendall and was met with hostility when she refused to discuss who she voted for in the American election, I find it really interesting, because that woman and a lot of Americans, I think, have this idea that they're entitled to travel and not be met with these political discussions because they're irrelevant or it's rude to discuss them. But what they don't appreciate is that people in Europe, people in Ireland, for instance, have to deal with the direct consequences of the American election, but they don't get a vote. So when you travel outside your borders, you go to a place like Ireland and you meet people who didn't have a say, but are having to deal with the consequences of things like tariffs, things like Palestine, the Russia-Ukraine war, and sort of oil prices because of Iran, and even not being able to fly across the Middle East currently, all of these chaotic things that could have been avoided. I think we're going to see it more and more that American tourists, when they travel outside of the US, are going to have to reckon with it a lot more than they used to, because the politics really affect everyone, not just them, and they're kind of going to be held to account a bit.
This is why the world does not like America, and by extension, Americans. I often see a lot of confused Americans wondering why people in other countries do not like them. But the answer is actually very simple. Most Americans do not know the true history of their country. And the US's reach is huge when it comes to destabilizing countries and destroying the environment. Overthrowing governments that are democratically elected, villainizing and sanctioning countries that fail to do what they want, sabotaging the progress of countries that are typically resource-rich, contributing to genocides in mass slaughter around the world by providing money and weapons to regimes that are known to commit human rights abuses. And if it's not destroying your country through these tangible and bureaucratic means, also just illegal, then they're destroying your country culturally. And what's crazy is the more that I learn about the histories of certain cultures in certain regions, the one thing that I'm noticing is that the US always leaves a trail, whether it's a trail of blood, bodies, and just complete disaster. They completely rewrite history and peddle lies about their impact abroad, rather pushing this narrative to its citizens that it brings freedom and democracy to other countries when everyone else who's been impacted by this country knows that that's a lie. And Americans believe it. I grew up in the US and was educated in the US education system. And it was only until I went to university in the US that I actually learned the truth about what this country has done abroad. But to know the raw and true history of the US is a rarity amongst the American population. And when your country has had such disastrous effects globally, especially on the global majority, people are not going to like you if you state the antithesis and you state propaganda that literally goes against the realities that people are living still to this day.
You know what's crazy is they spent a year telling us we were broke, and then they showed up with a war bill for $200 billion. They said, we need $200 billion for this war. I said, that's not my war. That's y'all's war. I didn't ask for this. Shit, y'all told us you weren't even going to do this war. And then like, well, it's not a war. It's actually a military excursion. I'm like, no, excursions are for cruise ships. What you're doing is a war. And they're like, oh, it was only supposed to last 3 days. I'm like, well, bitch, it's week 4 of your 3-day war. And now you're asking me for $200 billion. All right? You out here told us, how many times did you tell us? How many times did you tell us that we couldn't have hospitals, that we had to shut down schools, that we couldn't have better bridges? We ain't got bridge building money, but we got bridge bombing money? That's what the fuck you telling me? You told me the price was supposed to go down. I know that y'all down there in DC don't drive past the pump. I have to go drive past the pump every fucking day on my fucking commute to my goddamn job across rickety ass bridges that ain't getting fixed. And everything's more fucking expensive. And now you're out here telling me I gotta pay for your fucking war? A war that I didn't fucking want? That y'all told your people you didn't fucking want? And you out here $200 billion? Bitch, you know what we could do with $200 billion? We could go fund the fucking VA. You're out here trying to make more veterans. We're not trying to make more doctors to help the veterans. We already fucking got. Fuck y'all. I'm sick of this shit. They sent that pilled up asshole in his sunglasses and a hat with a chainsaw out there last year. Oh, we gotta doge things. We gotta cut shit. Holocaust Hegseth out here saying we need $200 billion because we gotta protect the protesters over there. Bitch, y'all call the protesters here domestic terrorists. Fuck you. I'm sick of this shit. Stop lying to me. Just tell me to my face that you're gonna do a war, that you're the fucking Antichrist, and that you're trying to bring about World War III because your dad didn't hug you and you lost playing a game of Battlefield 3 and now you want to do Karg Island in real life. That shit at least makes sense. This lying shit over and over and over again. We're just tired of it. We're tired of being lied to. You gonna go be a fucking devil? Go be a fucking devil. Don't put on fucking angel wings and act like I'm fucking...
Hello brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing great. Now, honestly, what do you have to say about this? What, do you really think about this? What's your opinion? Because we are seeing the United States security systems has shared a security alert that everyone should be extra cautious now that there might be an insecurity that is happening in the United States. This was issued on 22nd of March 2026. So Americans came and spoke out about this. And as I said, I'm representing the voice of American citizens, especially black people. So people say this: I live in DC and I don't vote for this. Black Americans are staying in their house. So yeah, that's it. Indeed, majority of black Americans didn't vote for this. They didn't choose this. And what we are seeing is happening right now is as a result of some folks that decided that they are going to vote for the Babylon system. Now everything that you're seeing has a devastating effect, and it's happening. And I've said this 1,000 millions of times. Every choices that you make has repercussions. Every choices that you do, anything that you do comes with a repercussion. Somebody also said that I'm not wasting my time panicking and fearing. At least no more. If God willing, I want to fight against this, even if dying is my fate. I don't want to die knowing or not knowing if the future generations will be suffering to this elite demon. May God strike evil down. That's just the person feels about this, because honestly, when people get these messages, first thing that comes to their mind is fear. People are trying to look at a safe haven. People are trying to look at safe spaces while they can hide and anything. People might start to look at the best possible places to be right now. What I'd like to say is that the last time I checked, I don't think Iran has a problem with black people, or I don't know if it's late for relocation, moving to Mexico, because it's not far from the United States, you know. So those are a couple of things that people might start want to consider, as, you know, it's human nature to try to look for safety when certain kind of information reaches out. Somebody also said, no, it's only worldwide panic for the white Americans who started all these BS, as usual. Yeah, indeed. There's a point that he has made that I would like to emphasize, put some emphasis on it. There's a time, I think it's like 1 month ago, when Iran issued a message to black people, and they tell them that we see you, we understand you, and we know what you're going through. And I think Iran is not just blind to make certain decisions that will affect all black Americans, because they know where the problem is, and they know how they can deal with it. Somebody also said that funny, everyone's still focused on houses, cars, and clothes, sex, money, money, money. Faith is gonna be the real currency to come. Like in the days of Noah, you're all gonna be caught unaware like a thief in the night. Looking at how the world is going right now, people are still materialistic. And it's, of course, we human beings are attached to what we call ours. And so I don't know what type of awareness that is going on right now, but I think it just goes behind your safety, because some people think that if you worry about your house when, let's call it, a calamity is happening, like the security measures that have been shared, people resort to leaving their houses, or something that happened the year 2008 when people sold their everything because the world was ending. I mean, it's still the same narrative. People are so much attached to their own properties when things like this happen. Somebody say that America is the monster, so don't lay this crap on someone else. Lunatic at the helm of Spainless, Congress thrown up by their blood-stained hands in defeat. Congress is the only one authorized to declare war, but the delusional president has no respect for the rule of law. Therefore, is acting as a dictator. Despicable administration. Somebody also say that America has been feeding us propaganda for so long, as they have bullied everyone here and around the world for 500 years to the fact that it's hard to trust anything that comes out of the outhouse. Babylon is falling. Somebody also came and said that United States of white supremacy has never protected our communities. I feel safer in other countries than here at home. It's nice being treated like human for once. I think this warning for white people, you can't hide it anymore. The world sees you. Listen, the US knew what they were doing when they picked a fight. The New World Order is upon us all. All of this is a strategic plan to be sure the US goes into the new monetary system to no longer be able to have gas and oil reliant cars, exorbitant food and goods costs and shortages. They knew what's going to happen and why it was done. You have heard of one of the regime, or at least that's the agenda. This wasn't a mistake. It was the plan. They said last year that it will be the end of our normal world as we knew it. They blew up the oil and stuff in Texas for a reason. People, stop thinking that it was just AM calling bluff on the playgrounds. They wanted us to be poor and reliant on them. What do you think it's gonna happen if we have no more gas and oil, or if we do it, will be rationed? The people who returned those generators during the manufacture ice storms should have kept them. There will be a food crisis. Buckle up, folks. People have different opinions in regards to this, honestly, as you can say, and as you can see, people talking about this all. Somebody say that why these fearmongers don't stop. Why are they gaslighting? And on top of it all, bringing the rest of the world in their shit pelting. The rest of the world did not start your shit. You were boasting about your greatness all the time. Now you eat the fun. You're warning the rest of the world. A lot of you sat down and encouraged these two men to light the fire, didn't you? You realize staying silent, you are complicit. Now you are warning. Warn yourselves. Ignorance and H-star this reality into existence. So you are there, the rest of the world. Let me state, there is a divine universal source which dwells within and about us. Stay calm. This world have to go through this stage of cleansing. So stay calm. The things you have no control over, let it take its closure. Just a reminder, just remember, if Yah is standing by your side, then why should you be afraid of the pestilence that followed by the night? These were among us are vampires. I say. So, people had something to say about this. And as you can see, different people have different opinions in regards to this. And I really want to know yours. What do you have to say about this? Please state it down in the comment section. And as you know, I'm your host and presenter Agentic Stories. And you know, I'm hoping to see you on my next video. But until then, stay safe, you all. It's always good to take caution, but at the same time, stay optimistic. I'm your host and presenter Agentic Stories. And but until then, I'm hoping to see you on my next video. Until then, peace, love, and harmony. Salute.